Amanda Joy with Sublime Pottery, and I'm sitting here glazing, and I just, think about random things while I'm doing stuff like this. And I was thinking about a question that somebody had asked me recently, and I get asked variations of this question regularly, and it is, what is the biggest contributing factor to your success? And every time somebody asks me that, I seem to have a different answer. And I was wondering why. Sometimes I would say it's following your curiosity, and I'm definitely going to make a video about that soon. Sometimes I would say it's being consistent. And granted, those two things are very important, and without them, success would be difficult. But I realized that it boiled down to something much less tangible, and that is following my intuition, which I suppose is close to following my curiosity. But so let's backtrack a little bit and have a little story time. In 2014, I had finally made a decision because, I was a wife to a business owner and a mother to a 1-year-old child, and I felt like I needed to grow up. Because up to that point, I was just kind of being led by fun with creativity. I'd see something that intrigued me and I would explore it for a little bit, and that would inspire something else, and I'd move on to a different medium and never really get good at anything. And that is definitely not a recipe to be a successful artist. So I decided that I was going to spend 1 solid year on painting. And I set a schedule. I painted whether I felt like it or not. I had to work through some pretty significant creative blocks and, all sorts of things that committing to painting whether I felt like it or not brought up. So it was very good, but I also gave myself an out after the end of that year. If I wanted to continue painting, great, but I could also give myself permission to move on to something else. But I was getting really good at the painting. I was starting to, get a following. The commissions were consistent. I was actually making a living at it, and I kept getting this little nudge that if I did not move to pottery at that time, the chances of me ever going back to it I just didn't feel it happening, because I fell madly in love with it, and it just was moving farther and farther away. But against my logic and better judgment, I listened to this gut voice that told me that if I did it, it would be good. And so I did. And I spent the whole first year getting myself reacquainted with the clay. I hadn't had my hands in clay in about 20 years. And about 9 months in, things were going good. I was starting my Instagram page, and I had 327 hard-earned Instagram followers, and decided that I needed to get a good camera. My intuition was telling me that if I got a good camera, something good would happen. And, looking at the books, I was not making enough money to be able to afford a good camera like that. I wasn't covering my costs that first year, which, isn't unusual, but anyway. Talked to my husband, and we decided just to go ahead and do it, because he knows enough about me at this point that if I have a strong intuition about something, that, to just let me follow it. So I got the camera, and I spent a couple of weeks kind of figuring out how to use it, and started posting those pictures on Instagram. And about 2 weeks after that, I think it was Fable Bay, a really big Instagram page, shared one of my pictures. And that was the first hit. I went from probably, my 327 followers to the end of the week I had 10,000. It was really exciting and really scary because I'm a total introvert, and having all of that attention was more than a little overwhelming. And a couple of weeks after that, I got a message from somebody that had seen the photos asking if I would do a commission for her. At that time I was doing commissions, but she had just messaged me a week after I had turned the commissions off for the year, so I could focus on holiday restocks. And I wanted to say no, but it was a very touching message. She wanted me to create a mug to commemorate her son that had passed away a couple of years before, and he loved astronomy and space, and she wanted me to make a space mug for her husband. And I wanted to say no, but man, this little gut kept telling me, do it, say yes. And so I begrudgingly wrote her back and said, I cannot promise anything, but I will try. And I did, and it came out the first time really interesting. And that was the birth of my Stellar mugs. So fast forward a couple of weeks, and I woke up and things had completely exploded on Facebook and Instagram, and I got a message letting me know that Will Wheaton, who played Wesley Crusher on Star Trek Next Generation, had posted one of my Stellar mugs on his Tumblr page. And I couldn't even fathom what was happening. It just was beyond my wildest dreams. And so fast forward another couple weeks, and MarthaStewart.com did an article, and My Modern Met and House Beautiful and just a bunch of publications did articles on Sublime Pottery. And I had my 15 minutes of fame, and I decided that the listening to my intuition had worked pretty well for me so far. So moving forward, I needed to make that be my guidepost rather than I just needed to make that my guidepost. It was good to have advice. My husband's a business owner, so he was really instrumental in keeping me from completely freaking out. But I wanted to pop the video on for a few minutes and share, a little backstory to Sublime Pottery, but also, and it's more than just listening to your intuition. It's actually doing something about it. Because, currently my intuition is telling me to do something that is way out of my comfort zone. And, maybe something will come out of it and I'll share about it at some point. But yeah, listening to your intuition is not always easy. It rocks the boat. It may make you and other people close to you feel very uncomfortable. But if it comes from a soft and sure place, you have to at least listen to it. Because otherwise, if you're not in control of the change that you're making in your life. Somebody or something else is. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. I hope you have a sublime day, and I'm going to get back to glazing.